Happy Friday Night Live. How you doing? Like, oh, I'm not on my computer. Just a second. I'm like, why can't I see me? Because I went on something else. You crazy? There I am. Hello. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Julie. Hi, friends. Who else is here? Cynthia, Michelle. Hello, Natalie. You can see me? Hi. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Oh, yay. I wasn't sure. Like, this is a holiday weekend. So I was like, who's going to be here tonight? I don't know. But you guys, a lot of you made some beautiful art. Oops. So I was like, who's going to be? What is wrong with me? Where do we even begin? Where do we even begin? Valerie, are you at the shore? Aren't you impressed that I remembered? I was going to say, are you at the sea? But so many of you guys last week did the Friday Night Live, and I love it. And I love all of the takes using different collections and how you switched it up. It was so much fun. So I had a very productive design day today. I was doing a lot of designing, getting stuff done. Hi Irene, I will be heading into the shop to get orders that are, I have a couple orders that some of you have been waiting for a while because, see, there's a few that there's special circumstances of why they are later going out. And I want to clean all of that up because my palette is on the way for Mistletoe Memories. So I will be kitting Mistletoe Memories and the flip book. So the event and the flip book. So, and Greta is kitting all of that. She got all of the flip book is done already. She will be rolling into, after the holiday weekend, into kitting the big kit. And our plan, so if you're like, where are they? It just takes a while. Some of the stuff just takes a while because we are a very small boutique company. So that's a nice way of putting it, right? There's just two of us. So we're rolling into doing all of the things. So you will have it in plenty of time for the event, and it's going to be so good. I'm excited for tonight too. This is going to be fun. So we'll roll into that because, you know, I always love to give everybody a little chance to get here. This is one of those things that you could totally play along with. Like, I feel like everybody can do the prep portion of this at least. And I'm going to make at least one card tonight. And then I will take my leftovers and make a layout. So the same design concept is going to be used on the card as the layout. So isn't that fun? And our friend Kari is here, healing up, got her staples out from her surgery. She said she's running around the block now, that she's moving way better. So very excited for that. Hi, Connie, how are you? Sending lots of healing vibes to Kari. Are we celebrating anything this week? Do we have birthdays, anniversaries? Kids going back to school? I'm sure some of you guys are excited. I'm sorry, teachers. I'm sorry, teachers, that you're like, oh, yeah, it's good, but I have to go back to school now. And so thank you for taking care of everybody's children, right? Yes, that's not fun. Keisha is not feeling well. So just hang out with us. Lay down with your hot tea. I'm sure your hubby's taking good care of you, and just hang out with us. Hi, Brenda. How are you? So this is fun tonight. I feel like everybody can do everybody can do what we're doing tonight. Everybody should have something. You could use old mixed media art that you've made. You can use scraps. You could use the rip strips, the UPC strips. You could use, I just pulled a whole bunch of Flower Emporium. I pulled what I had from last week and some new colors. And we are going to go in and glue stick is your friend. This is what's going to work best for this. And we're going to make our own textured background, which then we're going to go and punch, and I'm keeping it easy. So the tool list is small. You can make variations on this, but I just used a 2-inch punch, and we're going to go through and punch these. And then I have a Dixie cup, or a little cup that's slightly bigger than the circles, and I have my gold glaze. So I thought we could do like a little foily mixed media thing. Do you have to have this? No. You could use any kind of paint. You could use whatever you want. So I love that Kelly Clark, you could do this on your kitchen table if you're like, you just literally grab anything. And I actually think that's fun, that you could almost close your eyes and grab scraps out of your scrap stash And I was sitting there thinking, like, what can we, hi Sarah, what can we do tonight that everybody can participate, even if you're finding me for the first time live. Hopefully you have to have some craft tools, but I find the glue stick works the best. I do have my brayer out so I can just brayer them down, but you can use your handy dandy hand. And then I'm going to punch it out with a circle punch, but you could use circle dies or you could hand cut it. I don't use glue. What, Jennifer? You know, the only reason with a glue stick is you can put it down like a layer of boogers, and then it is really good for uh, adhering little strips of paper, and then you can clean the excess glue off, right? I don't normally use glue sticks either, but I'll tell you why you would want it in your stash is anytime you're going to add fabric, glue is like if you want to cover an album in fabric. I learned this a long time ago, many moons ago, from a lady who worked for Basil. And we covered, because Basil back in the day was also a store and they were a quilting store. So we did this album with fabric. And I've used fabric before, but I've used like Mod Podge and stuff. And she's like, you need to use a glue stick because it will dry and you won't even know that you adhered the fabric. And that was like golden nugget, like wow. Like, so that went into deep into the creative toolbox is like a Yoo-hoo glue stick. Don't like, just make sure it's a decent glue stick. Some of those cheaper ones dry out really fast. So glue stick is your friend for this technique because when you're putting it down, you can like wipe all the extra glue off, but the paper is like, it's awesome. And what I love, like, look at the texture on that. So this technique, we're going to use circles because what glue stick do I have? Whatever I found. So it happens to be a Xyron one. And it's only because this is what was in the drawer. But if I'm going to go shopping, this is great. But Yoo-hoo glue stick. So if you're in anywhere, a Yoo-hoo glue stick is totally fabulous. If you don't have it, you could use some wet glue. I'm just saying. If you want like A++ results, this. And I love circles too, Kelly. It's my favorite shape. If I had a favorite shape, it would be circles, stars, and hearts. And stripes and all of the shapes. The shapes are my friend. And so I feel like everybody can do. You could trace them out on the back of the sheet and cut them out by hand. So you don't have to have special tools. Yoo-hoo glue stick is the best. I agree. And what consistency do you want to use them? Like snot. Like it should be boogers. Like it should be pretty thick when you put it on so it doesn't dry, and you're going to work in sections, which I'm going to show you because I'm not leaving. I'm going to do it all with you. And I'm going to use my craft mat for easy cleanup because I'm going to go crazy with that glue stick. I'm going to go crazy with the glue stick. So the whole idea is we're going to sit and have I got my Diet Dr. Pepper because I drank 3 Stanleys today. So I'm rewarded with my Dr. Pepper when I'm hanging out with my best friends. So I have a full one of these. So that's my drink of choice. Question, is there any way to save a dried out glaze? No, I'm not going to lie to you. No. Once it's dried out, it's pretty much done because now do you feel it's like almost like a rubbery plastic? So no, water won't freshen it. So no. So I have to say a lot of these have been here for a long time. Like it lasts for a long time, but if you have like gunk all over the lid and it dried, air's getting in there and it's plastic, right? I do have them, Marlo, but here's the whole problem, right? I can't ship them over the border, so I'm sure it's out there. You could probably find it out there, and if not, we know that my lovely friend Simey Hurley. I made a joke because when he was on the last time, instead of calling him Simon, I called him Simey because my cat's name is Simon and I call him Simey. And now we've decided, Simon and I, that's, oh, you're in Canada. So I have gold glaze. I have all of the things. So if you just email me, we can figure out what you need. Stock up. I have all of it. Because that's the other thing that's going to be happening is for Canadians, as I'm going to try to wrap up a lot of my shop outside of like just the main kits and stuff, be watching for those travel kits you guys have all emailed. I've written all your names down, so I will reach out to anybody who's contacted me first. And there will be a ton of grab boxes and a super sale because I'm going to wrap up a bunch of the stuff because I can't get it anywhere other than to people in Canada. So that's coming. So with that being said, I feel like anybody who's going to be here is probably here. We can flip the camera. Thank you for letting me wear my glasses and no makeup because it's one of those days again. I was working, but I did shower and comb my hair. So, winning. I have pants on. So I feel like, it's a party. Party starting to happen. So who's going to play with me tonight? Who's going to play along with me tonight? Oh, girlfriend. Who is going to play along with me tonight? I have hoarded my glaze. Yes, right? Hard pants. And they are. I have jeans on. But I've lost a little bit of weight, so my jeans are big jeans. So I have to say that my big jeans are like wearing sweatpants. Because I could take my pants off without undoing them. You know what that's like? Because they're stretching denim, right? So I have hard pants on and everything, right? And yes, and I have rainbow. And then I have new 2 chains. Like these arrived today. So I have new 2 chains on tonight. So let's do the things. Because obviously I'm wired for sound. Because like I said, it was a wonderful design day. I had my iPad out. I drew a whole bunch of stuff. So just so you know, this is what is hopefully we're going to get out. 2 new stamp sets and possibly 7 new stencils that I drew. I drew a whole bunch of art. So just know that that's in the process of coming. So just some exclusives coming. Yes. Will you be able to get them anywhere? Yes. I mean, from me. But yes, I will be delivering them to the US and getting my order to Canada so that it'll be good. It's going to be so good. Let's flip the camera. I'm going to Blair Witch you. You got to look up my nose because, if you're my friend, you've been here. I bought all of the stuff. Until I get that set up, you got to look up my nose. And that's what friends do, right? So, I was worried that I hadn't actually flipped the camera. So, doing all the things. I am super excited for tonight's. Look at you get to see. See, it's not like this all looks neat and clean, but it's literally like what? 3 feet? 3 feet of neat and clean. And then the rest is, oh my goodness, a bomb went off. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Now that I can see your comments and everything. Ooh, one more adjustment. I don't want you to see my belly. You couldn't find a glue stick. I'm sorry. And see, because with me, I would like to get to a spot. Can we chat for a second before we get started while you look for your glue stick? Hi, Ginger. How are you? I'm taking my glasses off because I can't actually see anything other than close up with them. They're just readers, but they make me blind, and that's never a good thing. Glasses are supposed to help you see. Thank you. Okay, so see, I lost my train of thought. Like I said, glue stick, I'm not going to lie. I would tell you there's tons of other things you could use. Could you put Mod Podge and stuff down? Yes, but your paper is going to buckle. Glue stick for the win. And you'll see when I do this. Glue stick for the win. So I don't want to make you feel bad about it. Use what you have. But when you're out shopping, because you could get one at Walmart, back to school, you could probably get great deals right now, like in a whole set of the Yoo-Hoo. And I buy the thin ones, and then I buy the big thick guy. So let's talk about things that are in the works before we get started, because this is my little time to tell you about the things. Thank you for all your orders for the flip book. And if you guys didn't get a kit, no big deal. Like I told you, I didn't have a lot of kits because I want you to go and shop at your favorite scrapbook stores. This is just because I had extra from Texas. If you are going to be in Conroe, this is what we're making. But I am going to do the access only for this incredibly. It's going to be a super deal because I want you guys to support your stores. And if you're already doing the kit with me or you're going to be doing access only, I want you to do this project. So like I said, the access only is going to be incredibly inexpensive, like a Starbucks visit. And we're going to make this. So all of the details are on vickybooten.com. It'll say sold out. I will put the access only for this up next week, so you guys can join that. It is not going to be a group. I'm just going to send the link. Well, you'll get the link in your email. Okay, you'll get the link, because I'm not going to do, I don't think, written instructions for this one. I don't feel like we need it. We won't need it. I might photograph it so you have the images, but we'll decide. I just don't think you need a lot of written for this, but we'll decide. But look how fun. It's so fun. And I saw a store who, because when I talked about this in the walkthrough thing, right, and so my friends in Texas, we're going to have the best day ever. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, hello, Dawn. Hi, Poppy. Hi, Tisa. Hi, friends. So for my brain, whenever I do a flip book, I'm looking at it, and I always do it right. So the page above, as I'm flipping, would be this way up. For some people, and I laugh, there was a lovely store owner who made the book, and her head wouldn't work like this. So she did it where everything is, for me, upside down on the back. But for how my whole thought process with this is that when you're flipping through and it's standing up, I'd have the back of it like against a wall or something, right? So yes, when it flips over, it is upside down in the back. But how freaking cute. I can't show you a ton yet because I'm saving this for my walkthrough with my Texas ladies, but isn't it going to be fun? I'm just telling you, it's going to be fun. So, and the base, I'm going to do a free Halloween flip book when the new stuff releases, which I was talking to Janine, and it's coming very soon. It's coming very soon. So we're going to be doing our walkthrough and all of the things, and I can't wait for you to see that one and the fall release. So just know it's not necessarily a fall collection. It's just a fall release, and it's going to be so good. You can't purchase this kit now, Melissa? It's sold out. But everything you need is listed on vickybooten.com under Mistletoe and Memories flip book. So it literally is the flip book, the stand, a 6x8 pad, the vellum and acetate, and the stickers. And then 3 sheets of the Staples paper. It is not a ton of stuff. But look we make all of this, and then I made 2 bonus layouts. So I wanted to talk about that because it is very fun. And what I love is that stand when you're changing for seasons, and I'm going to do multiple of those books. So you're going to want to invest in the stand because we have some great ideas for upcoming releases. So it's going to be really fun. So I feel like everybody's going to come visit us is here. I want to know who's going to play along tonight. Who found their glue stick? Who found your glue stick and you're going to play along? I'm in Texas and I'm missing out on the event. I wish I could be there. Yeah, that one sold out really fast. It was like literally, I think it was under 24 hours. So if you didn't happen to just be around when we were talking about it, it was one of those ones that it went really fast. So even if you aren't playing along tonight, I feel like this is one of those ones that you should put in your, what do we call that, Natalie? Your playlist. Add it to your Vicki Booten playlist. Make sure while you're doing it, you hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the fun stuff that we're doing. You found a glue stick and you're playing. I love it. So what I need for tonight is I just grabbed 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. It's not heavyweight. You don't need it when we start laying all that on, or all this paper on, right? So I have 2 sheets of this. I have my glue stick. I have a whole whack of paper, and I have a paper trimmer. What we're going to do is go through and we're going to cut varying widths of strips. We are going to lay some glue stick on, and I'm going to create 2 different colorways. So adding different strips. So we have to cut a lot of strips. So we'll prep that. When that's done, what's awesome with the glue stick, it dries almost immediately. And then I'm going to use my paper punch, which I'm using a 2-inch. You can use whatever you got, or you can hand cut, or you could use steel dies. You could use different shapes. It doesn't have to be a circle. It could be stars, whatever you want to do. And then when it's done, I am going to elevate it with some metallic. And I'm going to use the Vicki Booten Creative Effects gold glaze. You could use gold paint. You don't have to do this at all. You could use ink, whatever you want to do. Okay. This is just what I got, and it's what I'm going to use. I have a brayer. So when I'm laying the pieces down, I can brayer over top just to make sure all of the strips are engaged in the glue. And I have paper, baby wipes and a paper towel just if my fingers get dirty. So we are going to make our own textured pattern paper. And it is so much fun. So other things you could do, which would be awesome, is you could sew around all of this when it's done. Remember, I have to buy a new sewing machine every time the needle needs to be changed, because I was so excited that my sewing machine was working and everything was glorious. And then I was doing some stuff for Sizzix for their flip book, and I went to sew on something I had spent hours die cutting and mixed mediaing and doing all the things, and my sewing machine ate it. And then I wanted to kick it across the room, right? So yeah, that stuff happens. So let's do the thing. So first thing we're going to do is cut our strips. I had done this because I was so organized today. I even had a sample in the image of the video, which I think is like crazy. I think that's crazy that I was that organized. So I think that's why I felt good tonight, is because I was walking down here and everything was set up and ready to go. Because some nights I walk down here and literally go, what am I making 5 minutes before I go live? Those are sometimes the best nights ever, right? Okay. So let's look at my paper choices. I went with Flower Emporium. You could use the new, if you already have some of your mistletoe memories. You could use any of my older collections. You could use a mix of whatever you have. You could use your simple stories, whatever you have. Okay. I think this would also be awesome for any of your little UPC strips. So these ones are all from my cut and paste collection. You could totally throw a few of these in here. The only thing with this is I think that I still would augment it with, did that make sense? Augment, add on some thinner strips so you vary the width of your strips, right? But if you keep these like I do, I love that now. This would be a great thing to do for your Christmas cards this year. Really easy to repeat and do mass production. And I'm going to make a card tonight. So I know, don't fall off your chair. I'm totally going to make a card tonight. Is Janine here? Did you say hi, Janine? Janine is here. Janine is working. I know that she's doing stuff. Although she's probably getting ready for bed because she goes to bed a lot earlier than I do. And I love that. And then she's up at the crack of dawn. So hello, Janine. So I'm using Flower Emporium. I love it. I know that a lot of you guys, it sold incredibly well. You have a lot of it in your stash. I love that you might only have a 3-inch by 12-inch strip of this, and we're going to utilize that right now. So we are going to go through and, like I said, just cut varying widths of pattern paper and do a whole bunch. And double-sided is magic because you can use both sides. That's kind of how double-sided works. But I love this green. Tone on tone patterns. I am a pattern paper junkie. For some of you guys, that's not your jam. But what I love, what I'm showing you, so, if you are somebody who loves 49 and Market and you maybe don't use a lot of, or any collection that you don't use a lot of pattern paper, you're going to quickly see why I feel like you need to have pattern paper, because I'm going to teach you how to layer and make all those beautiful multi-layered backgrounds yourself with mixed media, with paper piecing. So just don't quit on me just yet. If you're like, oh my goodness, with all this pattern paper, like she's freaking crazy. Why do I need this? Just hang out and I'll show you why. And for people who've been with me for a long time, who's out there that maybe you didn't ever have a lot of pattern paper? Like you were cardstock, generally cardstock, a few patterns, and now you're like more like, yeah, I'm digging the pattern paper. I'm sure they exist, right? I think she does, right? Does all the things. I love all of the things. And I love pattern paper. Just only reason is I just like choice, right? I didn't get into pattern paper until 2011. You don't have much here. What do you generally craft, Ginger? Are you a card maker? Are you just a general crafter? Never really scrapbooked? Because I love those. These are great questions, like, right? Because I want to know, is there a reason? Or you are a scrapbooker. So if you don't have a lot of pattern paper, tell me, what do you generally scrapbook with? Are you more like a cardstock scrapbooker? I won't lie, I love this stuff. I am definitely a clusterer. I like to cluster and mix pattern. Can I tell you that this script paper, it will probably show up in every collection until Janine tells me I can't anymore, because it is, I think, the best layering pattern ever. Is text. A lot of project life cards. That totally makes sense then. So you have a lot of paper. You just don't have 12 by 12 paper then, right? You just scrapbook more pocket pages. Is that what your jam is? But you can, this concept we're doing tonight, you could totally do in 3 by 4 and 4 by 6. You could just do this, right? I love this text. I would love it in every color. Yeah. Right? So you could even take old project life cards. I love this. And so I have a group page on Facebook called Vicki Booten's Creative Community Group. And Ginger, I'm challenging you tonight to grab a whole bunch of old project life cards, and it could be in themes that you're not sure if you would use, and do this concept to maybe do inserts for your pockets. I think that would be fun. You're like, I didn't really want to work tonight, Vicki, and now you're trying to make me. Now you're trying to make me. Yes, I could be. Good morning from Australia. Hello, Tamia. You're using 6 by 8 Flower Emporium paper pad. It's perfect. And I was actually going to use that too, Irene, and I couldn't find it. You know? Yeah, I would like that. And then I will do the text in every collection too. So I feel like we should have it in multiple things, right? I love text and word paper. I love script paper. I love book paper. Book paper could be fun, Janine. Like newsprint. Newsprint. So let's just, what are we doing right now? Just cutting a bunch of strips. You need a lot. Choice. It's all about choice, right? So probably if you said, Vicki, what is the widest you're cutting? Probably 1/2 inch. Is that helpful? Let's see, 1/2 inch. Yeah, I'd say, because my circles are only 2 inch, that 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. Especially, you know why I say book paper, my friend Janine, is because I think that goes very well with Dennis's collection as well, because it's kind of got that vintage vibe, like going to the old Paris flea market. But you could use it with everything, right? I think that's kind of fun. I just got excited as we were talking. The other favorite paper of mine is Ledger. I would put Ledger in everything. I do love, love, love Ledger. Book paper goes with almost anything. And you know the other thing that goes with almost everything is a good black and white pattern. So if you're doing a lot of color, I think having a very subtle repeated pattern is great. Like I could put neon on top of this, and instead of just putting it on flat cardstock, I think it makes it kind of magical. So I love tile patterns, and I love black and white. Hello, Debbie. How are you? I love text paper. Me too. A package of ephemera with pieces of text, script, ledger. Yes, I think that is a great idea. I 100%. That's my neutral. Wouldn't you agree, Debbie? That is my neutral. Sarah is asking Janine if there'll be storage for the new ink pads. But I feel because they're the same size, right, as it probably exists already. Wouldn't you say, Janine? Oh, but you've been talking about that? But wouldn't you, do you think there's, I went and bought something. I did. I went and bought a unit, and no pressure, Janine. I bought it to fit 60 inks. No pressure. My 15 are going to be really lonely, but Janine, I bought it to fit 60 inks. So, chop, chop. I did. I bought it to fit 60. I wasn't, when I went on there and they had all the different sizes. And then I'm like, ooh, 60 works if, if 15 is kind of when she does the things. I'm like, that, I could do that math. So I did. I bought the stand that all of it fits in there for 60. They're going to be really lonely in there, but you're looking for portable storage. Well, because they're the same size of archival. I wonder, does Ranger have anything? Janine? Does Ranger even have anything? But I'm sure something, because who doesn't love storage? But I love that. I love that. Look what came in, I ordered. What came, I put it here so I could show you guys because we talked about this. So where did you put it, Vicki? Right here. So I ordered a whole whack of these because they're in black now from Inkstand. From, oh my goodness, tip of my tongue. Help me, Natalie. I just lost it on the tip of my tongue. Ugh. Help me. Somebody help me. I feel I'm embarrassed. Brianne Loveland. Thank you. So look at. Thank you. And I just talked to her today on a Jennifer McGuire thing. How cute is that? So I bought a whole whack of these so when we're working that I can have 4. I bought so they're 4 in front of me. Right? I love it. So I did. They fit perfectly. And I love the black. I have to say I have a whole bunch in white, but I love the black. So great job, Brianne. I love it. I'm very excited. So they fit perfectly. If you guys were wondering, because some were asking, will these fit? And they do. They fit perfectly. So this is from Inkstand. And my friend Brianne is the owner and brilliant mind behind this. And I love them. So they just came. And I'm very excited for that. And then I bought the minis for my distress minis. So I wanted to show you guys that. I did buy that as well. It's fun, right? You don't use much ink, so I'm not sure I understand the purpose. It's so when you're putting your ink pad in, it doesn't move around. Do you know what I mean? You'd have your lid, and then you know exactly what color you're using. So if I had, say, pink sand and just peachy side by side, and then you're looking, look, oh, no, that's not the one. That ink pad is, I think, in here, it's some of them are like closer, but that's not the one. That was a lie. See how they looked exactly the same. Yeah, Vicki, you're like, that didn't even make sense, lady. And I'm like, you're correct. That is a correct statement. It didn't make sense. You have them too for your distress inks. Yep, I have them for my distress inks too. But I had never bought them for that size pad because I only generally use the black archival. So when I got excited and Janine came out with, and if you guys are not familiar, Janine is the brilliant mind behind 49 and Market. And just about a month ago, a couple weeks ago, she came out with these new inks with Ranger that I love because they are going to match the collections with 49 Market. So now if you've always struggled to find the perfect ink, struggle no more. You will have them. So I love them and it's great product. So I'm going to separate that stack for now and I'm going to cut some more. I'm just, like I said, lots of strips. I want choices, right? I want choices. Mine move around all the time. Yep, I love it. I think it's a clever idea. And she is one of the nicest ladies you will ever meet, Brianne. So, right? Question. What is the ink pad holder called, please? It is Inkstand. If you look up Brianne Loveland, an Inkstand on Instagram, or search, because I'm sure that because Natalie loves us, she'll find us a link. She'll find a link, right? You could use vellum in here for sure, Ginger. I think that would be awesome. I think vellum in here would be awesome, and a glue stick should work with that too. I love this blue pattern. So let's do some of this. And the other side of it is a diagonal craft, which is going to be a great neutral. Look at that. It's going to be fun. Yeah, Brianne is a sweetheart. I really love her. And she found us during COVID, Like Brienne would be here a lot during COVID. When a lot of us met during then, right? Is that it was a perfect opportunity when, if you're social like I am, and I was just looking for friends, and you guys showed up, right? And you guys showed up. So washi tape could be fun. Totally, Beth. Do the things like you guys always do, because I feel like I'm just planting a seed, and you're going to decide how you want to water it and make it grow, right? I'm just planting a seed. This idea is like, look, this could be fun. And then a lot of times you're like, well, this is all I have. Is this going to work? And 9 times out of 10, yes, it will. And I feel like if the seed wasn't planted, you might not have even done this technique, right? And the other thing is you can customize to make your own striped paper. Who doesn't love that? Okay, let's go on to the next one, because I want a little color in here so that my circles kind of contrast, right? Oh, this could be fun. So this is one of the Staples paper. Staples number 3 from, oh, I love it. Who doesn't love a nice navy? From Flower Emporium. And then I'm going to get wild and crazy. And if you know me, I'm going to pull some pink. I think some pink will be nice. I thought this one would be really fun too. In case I didn't have enough. Ooh, purple. And then like, look at a nice neutral gray. So let's just cut our strips and then we'll start gluing. That navy is awesome. I think so too. And I think with the pink, it'll be really pretty. Don't you think? Pink? Don't you think the pink? And maybe some of these. Because I do like this too. Now I'm using full sheets because, don't be mad, but I probably threw my scraps away because otherwise I'd be buried in stuff. So normally I would have a whole bunch of scraps. I'm faking that. But I know that a lot of you guys, raise your hand if you are definitely in the club where you like to save all of your bits. Because I definitely, at one point, I used to have a huge drawer of like scrap cardstock and all the rest of it. But, you know, my world is a little different now because once I'm done and moving on to the next thing, right? So I think this is perfect to grab in your scrap drawer, right? You're a saver. I love it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I probably have a bunch of scraps somewhere. I just don't really know where it is right now. Because are you that kind of saver? Sometimes that you're like, yeah, I have it, but I just don't know where I would have put it. I'm sure it's there somewhere. I just can't tell you where that would be. Okay, so I feel like that's enough of that one. Right? Sometimes you're like, I'm sure I have it, but yeah, Irene unfortunately had a house fire, so for sure she does not have any saved paper anymore. But we can start that now. You're a donator. You're not a saver. You're a donator. I get that. Bits for cards, for sure. There's use for it. But look at this is a great opportunity, right, Phyllis, to use some of that stuff. You've misplaced your washi tape. And guess it's going to feel like Christmas when you find it, right? It's going to feel like Christmas. When you're like, there it is. So we'll just chat and prep. What else is going on in your lives? Do you have anything to share? Did I miss? I asked if it was anybody's birthday this week, and then I didn't have a chance to look at the comments. So if it was, happy birthday. Some of you guys, your kids have been in school now for, what, a couple weeks? Some, if you're like us, well, my kids are too old now. They're not going back to, it's not going to be first day of school. Will be this week, right? Oh, your son turned 20. Happy birthday to your son, Beth. Hello, Melinda. I would call myself a hoarder, but a saver is better. I like that. I agree. Saver is better. Nothing wrong with it either, right? Okay, so look at, there's words on the other side. So for this, so I get a whole row because the strips are so small, I'm going to cut it from the side of this. I'm going to cut the little strip off first. Oops. And I'll cut from the side. I like that. You're a saver. Or a collector. I donate my stash to my sister's school. They take it all. Because like you, Vicki, once it's over, we have to move on to the next thing. And I do the same. That's where my stuff goes to the kids' old school, because a lot of the teachers, because I was a volunteer at the kids' school, a lot of the teachers are still my friends. So they are more than happy for that, because a lot of the art departments just don't have a huge budget, and it's the teachers who have to buy everything. So I feel like I can massively donate. Like, they get some good stuff from me, and the kids love it. And I'm sure you wouldn't be surprised by this, but my favorite, I'm having a hard time speaking. One of my favorite classes in school was art. So if I can send that to the school and they get good use out of it, I am very excited about that. So speaking of that, I'm going to have a huge stash that I'm going to be contacting the school. Like tons. Like, I literally send bins and bins and bins. And sometimes they say they put it in their art closet, and then all the teachers use it in the school. And they're like, oh my goodness. I used to laugh when I donate it, and Devin, all her projects would come home with my stuff on it. It was funny. And they're like, where we were shopping, in the closet with all of your stuff in there. Okay, almost done. Almost done. So what's your color palette? What are you guys using? A variation? What's happening in your world over there? I love pink. Doesn't mean I love pink in everything, but it certainly has its place, right? I do love it, and I actually love these two shades of pink. Homeschoolers would love it too, I bet. Yeah. Well, I used to do, and I would love to do another one. I used to do garage sales where I put the stuff out for like dirt cheap, and people would come, and I'd say, grab as much, grab tons, because when you put it up here, I'm going to sell it to you for way less than what is marked if you have a big bundle. And people used to go nuts. They loved my garage sales, because the teachers would come, scrapbookers, card makers from near and far. A lot of them would make a trip, right? It was good. Okay, if I need more, I can cut it. So I feel like the only other thing I'm going to add, I think, is some of this craft. I think this craft will be nice mix in there too, right? Question. What width are you cutting? Like a 1/4 inch? Everything, the widest piece is a half. The widest piece is a half, and then every variation underneath. So weird fraction-y things, but a 1/4. Some are like a really thin little sliver, but the biggest is, and my blade is dull, so they're also starting to look like they're a little distressed. Old scraps. Yeah, I love that, right? I love that. That's what my friends will say, is that it's great for retirement homes, like anywhere that they're making stuff, right? Churches, Sunday school. There we go. The funny thing is, remember, I ordered way too many of the Disney kits, so they're going to have cases of Disney stuff. So hopefully they can use it. I have that trimmer, and I feel like even the new blades are dull. Yeah, but I still love it, Cara. Like, I still love this trimmer. I have every freaking trimmer. Janine even gave me one when we were at the last trade show, one of the Tim Holtz ones, and I don't know. I still grab this trimmer that doesn't cut straight, and the blade's dull all the time, but I don't know. I guess, old dog. Okay, let's do the things. So I really am of the school of let's organize so I can put my colors together, right? So I'll do my stack of pinks so I can see A side and B side. And I feel like when I need to grab a color will be way faster so my glue doesn't dry before I find my strip. Okay, and then we have our craft. And there's a cream side to the craft. I might use it. Don't know. It might only be the craft side. You will love the precision trimmer. I'm sure I will, like everything that Tim comes out with, right? He is everybody going to watch his Halloween stuff? I think is tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, right? Because I'm very excited because you know I let the cat out of the bag. So even though Janine's here and you haven't seen the new collection, that is coming very soon, Janine. How quick? Are we going to be? Pretty soon, right? That my first ever Halloween collection. So I feel like I'll be able to supplement it with some of Tim's stuff, which I think will be fun. Who out there loves Halloween? Loves to scrapbook Halloween, loves to dress up. Tell me all of the things, right? So what day is that, Janine? Isn't that exciting? So when we do the walkthrough of the new collection, it's going to be on Janine's birthday. So remember that. Tuck that little tidbit of information in your cranium. It's going to be so good. I do very much love it. And I am actually even going to be buying myself a Halloween costume this year. Just so I can take pictures to put in. Remember, I'm going to do a free flipbook class with the Halloween. All you will need is a collection pack. I'm going to do a free class for that one. So if you're out there and you're a store owner, there's a little tidbit of information. I'm going to be backing you guys up. I'm going to do a free class with the Halloween, and I'm going to do just a few kits for a layout class. So really just buy 2 of the collection packs and whatever, all the other stuff that's going to be coming out. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Yeah, we're really excited about it. Okay, so there I have those little stacks. Okay, better make room, Vicki. I'm going to put some on one side and some on the other so I can find quickly what color I want to use. Are you excited for this? If you're not using a glue stick, what kind of adhesive are you using? Because you could put a strip of you could put a strip of wet adhesive down, will work. I just want you to know for future, glue stick is your friend for this one, right? I'm betting you have enough paper to make a costume from paper. I'm betting I do too, Loretta. And I've seen it because I've been around for a long time. And there used to be at the trade shows, they would do like fashion shows and stuff where people would make dresses and stuff out of paper. Like it was pretty. There's some pretty talented people out there, right? Halloween is your fave. I love it. I rescued the black cat Raven on Halloween. True story and not planned. I love that. I love that. So did Janine tell us what day her birthday was? I wasn't looking up. I was organizing my strips. So we will do a walkthrough with Janine, and then I will do my walkthrough like I always do with you guys too. So you will get lots of information for this release, which I have to say, if you are a 49 and Market lover, I feel like we really hit our stride with Vicki Booten meets 49 and Market with the next collection. I think you guys are going to go gaga over it, right? You're going to use Barely Art glue. I think that'll with a makeup sponge. That Irene, bringing all the smartness to the table, right? September 11th. I was born first. Yeah, in New York City that day. But yes, it is special because it is your birthday. But yeah, that happened prior to the sad stuff we remember, right, on September 11th. So we still need to celebrate Janine and the new release. It's going to be good. Your dad wanted you to have a paper wedding dress. He was an art teacher. I bet it would have been amazing. Right? Bet it would have been amazing. That's not that long to work though. Wait though, right, Inez? I'm just telling you, I love all the collections because, right, they come from my heart and my soft mushy brain. but this one is very near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love how it turned out. So I will be very excited when we get to share it. And you have to think, like, we get to look at it and love it for such a long time that it's nice when it gets to show. I didn't cut very many of these. I need to get a couple more of those. When it gets to see the light of day, right? When it gets to see the light of day is pretty darn special. So it'll be good. Hello, Serenity. Your birthday is Serenity. I love Serenity. Serenity's birthday is on the same day as Janine's. How exciting is that? That is. I'm going to cut a couple more orange, and then I'll be ready. I lied. I wasn't ready yet. I pretended I was ready. I wasn't telling the truth. How many 2 inches? Many as you want to cut, because I will end up punching out what I need, and then I'm going to punch all of them out, and then maybe save some of it to do some other stuff. But I'm only going to make a card tonight, so do you see all the work I'm doing, Irene? And I'm probably only going to use 6. I'm only going to use 6, even though we're punching or cutting enough paper out for 800 million. But I'll probably only use 6 tonight. But I will follow it up with a layout using the same technique, right? What are we creating? We're cutting paper strips, and then we are going to glue them to paper to make a textured, striped, paper pieced sheet. And then we are going to, I might even make the background of the layout. We'll see. We'll see. I always say I'm not going to do it, and then I'm here till 4 a.m. But it'll be good. Okay, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. Get rid of this for now. Do you know what is interesting is when you lose your stuff? There it is. So this is what I had made to show everybody, right? Yeah, remember we did the basket weave, but this one isn't the same because I'm just going to glue them straight on. And this is what I made. So I love that. My goal is to fill both sheets, and then I'll have 2 sheets to use. And even if I only punch a couple of circles to start, I can always come back and are you ready for this? Wouldn't a title cut out of this be super awesome? Super califragilistic? How fun would that be? This is great for your art journal. So any kind of crafting you do tonight, this technique could be used. I think this would be a lot of fun to do with kids. You could do it out of newspaper, and you could tint the newspaper in different colors and then cut it out. It could be really fun. Old book paper, and you could tint the paper, mist it with your sprays if you still have them, and just got to watch because that would have to completely dry and it would be a little bit more delicate. You could decoupage. So this is like, I feel like this is the first thing we're going to do. But even when I was playing, I was like, I could do a lot with this technique, right? I could do a lot with this technique, but we have to start somewhere. And this is where I'm starting. So I am going to do, because they're 12 inches, so I want to max out, I'm going to lay along the 11 inch, right? My strips are going to go along the 11 inch. So I'll do it like this. I'm going to put my craft mat down because it's easier to clean than my big mat underneath. So I'll do this. Boop. Alcohol inks. You could use whatever you have. And that's what is magic about the VBoo crew getting together on Friday nights, or whenever you get to watch this, is, I'll often say, use what you have. Use what you have, because I'd rather you make something than not make it because you feel like you don't have the proper tools. Sometimes it's more limited, but tonight it is not. I think alcohol inks on Yupo and doing like monochromatics on a bunch of different pieces and cutting the strips out and doing this technique would be freaking awesome. And I always feel like, I always say it's like the gateway drug, is if I start with paper, people will not be scared of paper. They have paper, they won't be scared of paper. If I make you do mixed media, sometimes you're like, I'm out before you even try it. So I always feel like this is a great way to get if you feel comfortable and love your results with this, and then I say, let's do a whole bunch of backgrounds with a kissing technique with a new 49 and Market ink, and then do the same technique, how freaking awesome, and sew all over it. So just know, maybe that's on my list of something we're going to need to do. So I'm going to only cover about 2 inches with glue. Remember, how much glue do you need on? Boogers. You need a layer of booger glue, because if you don't, it's going to dry out before you get your strips on. So I have a fair amount of glue on there. Paper piecing with dies. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to start in this color family, and this one is going to be more turquoise and blue and purple. Okay. This side's going to be my greens, pinks, whatever. So whatever. Does it matter which piece you start with? No, it doesn't. But I love the glue is wet, so that also gives me the ability to move that around. So there's my first piece. Maybe I'll go with some black next. Varying the widths. Booger. That's how much you need, Louisa, is a booger amount of glue. Because it's exactly what it feels like. It is, for some of you guys that have tactile issues, I apologize. You might not like this, because it is a little bit messy, but it does all wipe off. But some of you are like, ugh, I don't want to do that again. Next time I see a kid with a runny nose, you're going to run your strip of paper through it, Adriana. You're like, perfect. That is a perfect amount for a paper piecing strip technique. How fun would this be on an album cover? Right? And I love, so here's another thing. Maybe you don't have the right size of paper, but if you do something like this, it doesn't mean you couldn't use 6-inch. Irene, you could totally fill your strip this way too, is intermittent, like bricks with your 6x8s, right? 6x8s. See these ones. Here's a good example. This is not the right length because it was my paper from last week. So this is what I did, is I filled as much as I could and then took a second strip that was the same height, right? And then just pieced it like that and tore it off. Do you know what? Here, you know what one of the things I'm going to do with my leftovers? I'm going to find a border punch or a border die, and I'm going to cut like scallop borders out of this. I'm just telling you. There are so many uses for this technique, and I feel like your investment is minimal. Investment of time and investment in product. But do you see what I'm saying about the glue stick? Because it will dry, so even if extra glue gets on here, it rubs right off. And that's why the glue stick is magic. You know, a lot of times I'll tell you, it doesn't matter, use whatever you have, but it certainly is a bonus if you have the glue stick. And then kind of look on your paper. This has kind of like a little inking edge on it, so I want to make sure that's included in there. So many uses for this, right? No kids here. You don't need kids, man, to have fun doing the art, right? If you're out there and you're like, you put restrictions on your creativity, you don't have to. We're kids at heart, right? Kids at heart. But I feel like this is for anybody. What brand of glue stick? This one is what I had in my drawer, Louisa. It is Xyron. But if you were going to ask me a readily available one, and I think one of the best glue sticks too is Yoo-hoo. U-H-U. Yoo-hoo. And it's back to school time. So if you went into Walmart or wherever you shop, you probably can get the 3-pack. And I would get the thicker one, to be honest with you, the thicker glue stick. But Yoo-hoo, I love it. What phrase did I say that you hadn't heard before? Booger glue. It's not a phrase that is normal. It's just a Vicki phrase because I'm not normal, right? That's the problem. I'm not. I will say weirdo stuff all the time, but it makes me, it's who I am, right? One year my husband and I went as a roll of quarters and a roll of dimes for Halloween. How fun is that? Yes. Let's talk about that. Halloween costumes. Oh, I don't want to put that one there yet. Um, Vicki said she's going to wear a Halloween costume this year, and I haven't dressed up in many, many moons. So now, what should I be looking for in a Halloween costume? What are you guys, anybody doing? Do you dress up to give out candy? Do you go to a Halloween party? Because I think it's kind of fun as adults to go to a Halloween party. You're a retired banker. How smart is that, Karen? I love it. Hi, Rebecca. I was literally just doing a patchwork technique using stripes. See, great minds. Chris is from Queensland. My best scrappy friend is coming for a few days, so watching and cooking up a storm so we can scrap. What are you making? Tell me what kind of food you make for a scrapbook weekend with your bestie. I want to know. There's got to be a lot of snacks. Is it like crock pot? And you're in Australia. What would you be making? What kind of food would you eat? Dress as a Barbie. So, if I was going to dress as a Barbie, which Barbie do you think I would dress as? And you've got to be a Barbie fan probably to even answer, like, which Barbies even out there. I have two in my head right now. Three Barbies that I would definitely dress as if I could dress like a Barbie. I want to know if you guys were Barbie. Weird Barbie. Natalie D'Souza, you shut your mouth over there, you little teasing Vicki. Did you see? She'd call me weirdo Barbie. The pink one. Yes, that would be Superstar Barbie. Superstar Barbie. Don't let her get away with that. She told me I'd be weirdo Barbie. Is that the one because we all had that Barbie, where they cut her hair. Was she weirdo Barbie? What was her name? Oh my goodness, Dawn. You got it. And Peaches and Cream, and there's one other. So I wouldn't do Malibu Barbie because she's in a bathing suit, and that would be scary. So yes, I love it. So you got it. So one Barbie is Superstar Barbie, and that is the hot pink dress. And she had a diamond ring, a diamond necklace, and diamond earrings. That was Superstar Barbie. Peaches and Cream was in a pink tulle dress, which I loved. And then there's one more Barbie that if you were a child of the 70s, this Barbie, you pressed a little thing on her back and she winked, and you got a tube of lipstick to put on the sheets that she gave out as her headshots, because she was something special. So she would wink when you press the thing on her back, and then she would you got a little thing of lipstick, but it was a stamp with the lips, so she could I totally love that Barbie. So somebody needs to remember, somebody must have had this Barbie. And you would have to be a child of the 70s. Was there a Transformer Barbie? Did you play with it? Were you like the girl who played with all the boys stuff? I was a girl who would steal the G.I. Joes just because Barbie wanted kind of a burly boyfriend. Ken was not a burly boyfriend, so G.I. Joe would be, her other boyfriend. So I will tell you, because no one can guess this Barbie, the one I'm talking about. There, see, none of you, I guess, were super Barbie lovers. Kissing Barbie. It was Cowgirl Barbie. It was. But, see, did I just blend two Barbies together? I might have. Kissing Barbie. Was there a Kissing Barbie, or did Cowgirl Barbie have the lipstick? I just blended two Barbies together. I just blended two. I think there was Kissing Barbie and Cowboy Barbie. But Cowboy Barbie was the one I was thinking of. So we have to look it up, Serenity. I have to see now a picture if there was a Kissing Barbie and there was the Western Barbie. But it was a Western Barbie is the one I was thinking of. She had a white outfit with a Western shirt. You guys will have to look it up. Western Barbie. Loved her. Western Barbie. But I think there was a Kissing Barbie too. See, and those Barbies are from the 70s, because I do not believe that we would have a Kissing Barbie now. What do you think? I don't think that would fly. I don't think that things that we did back then, you would do now. Oh, there were a lot of Barbies, and I loved her. I still love her. So I owned a lot of Barbies. Kissin' Barbie, Western Barbie, Boudoir Barbie. You know that one wouldn't happen. She was the one who had the lipstick. Okay. You ordered her from the Sears catalog. Do you remember Christmas when the Sears catalog would come out? And then I would circle and then I'd cut it all out and I would glue like this. You had the original Barbie in the black and white striped swimsuit. Was that the one? See, I know. I know my Barbies. Yeah. She was my friend. Barbie was my friend. I spent every Saturday, I would have my either cinnamon toast or I would have cereal or toast with peanut butter and jam. I would watch cartoons and I'd play with Barbie. And my mother would let me leave it set up in the living room all weekend because we had a coffee table in the 70s that had 2 openings on the end and 2 doors in the middle. So the door was her parking garage. And so she had it was like her condo, Barbie's condo, right in the middle of my living room. Right? I loved it. And then I would watch the Smurfs. I would watch Shmoo. Do you guys remember Shmoo? What was Shmoo part of? I think they all rode doom buggies or something in the Shmoo cartoon. But I loved the Smurfs. That was a big one. Do you guys remember stuff like that, or am I a weirdo? Like you don't remember your childhood like that? I'm going to cut up, see, like vary your sizes. Boop. I did love those cartoons. It was, I think growing up in the 70s was an awesome time, right? The Snorks, I remember that. Sorry, you were a decade before me. Yeah, for me it was Gummy Bears, cartoon, Garfield. I watched Garfield and Muppet Babies, but I would still watch cartoons, right? Your mom made clothes for your Barbie. I love that. I wanted a thicker orange stripe, if I can find it. I'll just use what I have, Vicki. Just use what you have. Your Chrissy doll, was that the red hair? And then you pulled her hair, and her hair would go long, and then you'd press the button in the back, and her hair would go short. Was that the Chrissy doll? I think that was the Chrissy doll, right? I loved her. I did not have a Chrissy doll, but my neighbor did. So I would play with the Chrissy doll, but I did not have my own. Miffy. I love Miffy, right? Oh, is that different? I thought we were talking about Miffy. Miffy, right? The cutest bunny. Dolly Surprise. Wasn't that the pregnant one? Do you remember that? And do you remember the cat? What was the cat that would have the babies in it? Was that Kitten Surprise and Puppy Surprise? And they were pregnant? Do you guys remember that? There was a Barbie that was pregnant and her stomach just popped off, and that's how you got the baby out. The stomach popped off, and that's how you got the baby out. Does anybody remember that? The pregnant Barbie? It was a family, like there was a whole set of family Barbies. I know, isn't that crazy, Janine? And you'd pop its stomach, the Barbie's stomach off, and that's where the babies came out. All the pregnant ones. Yep. And I 100% remember. I didn't have that one either, but I loved it. I wanted the pregnant Barbie. And it had twins. She had twins in her belly. Oh my goodness, the banana seat, right? The banana seat. The bike with the banana seat. I loved it. And did you put the little tassels hanging from your handlebars? Like I felt like it was like a motorcycle, right? Like a motorcycle. That when I rode, I felt like I was pretty cool, putting my popsicle sticks in the wheel, right? And having, oh my goodness, Gem. Because Gem was truly outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Oh, Gem, the music's contagious, outrageous. Do you guys remember? I liked Gem. Gem and Tiger Cats. What Skeletor? What was that one off of? So remember I was saying if you have your brayer and you're not sure if they're in contact, this is what we're gonna do. Thundercats, He-Man. Yeah, it was Skeletor. The other day remember, I think I talked about this last week. Greatest American Hero, like all those shows we loved watching. Wonder Twins, yeah. Wonder Twin powers activate in the form of an eagle, in the form of an iceberg. I loved the Wonder Twins. But who was your favorite? What was that called? What was that show with the Wonder Twins? What were they called? Because my favorite was Aquaman. I have to say, I kind of had a crush on Aquaman. That one was too thin. I was trying to fill that space in. And I got so excited talking about Aquaman. I couldn't cut my paper. For those, right? Gidget. I loved Gidget. I would watch that with my mom. Who played Gidget? Na 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 na. Inspector Gadget. Da na 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 da. Ooh ooh. Yep, I remember. The pregnant Barbie is $1,800. That is crazy. Scooby-Doo. We love Scooby-Doo, right? Josie and the Pussycats. Was it Sally Field was Gidget? Yeah, I remember that. I remember on Saturday afternoons, after the cartoons, we would watch like Mon Pa Kettle and like a lot of the old shows would be on. What is the other one? Little Rascals, right? But I loved Gidget. I kind of have a crush on Jason Momoa, modern day Aquaman. You and me both, yeah. But the Aquaman in the cartoons was the whatever heroes. Where were they? What were they? Those heroes. He was like a skinny little blonde guy. The Jetsons, I love it. Mr. Ed, Silver Spoons. Yeah, I loved it. What was his name? Ricky Schroeder? Was that who was on Silver Spoons? Ricky Schroeder? Who was your favorite teen heartthrob? Who was your crush when you were a kid? Did you like have a favorite band or that one's too big, Vicki, getting all crazy. I didn't do very much pink on this one. This is going to be my last strip for this one. So I obviously went off on an angle. But look how fun. I love this. I find it super relaxing. Parker Stevenson. Wasn't he in the Hardy Boys? Was it Scott Baio or Bain? Who's Scott Bain? Is it Baio or Bain? Davy Jones from the Monkees. Dark Shadows. I love that Scott Baio. Yeah, Leif Garrett. I remember. I loved C. Tommy Howell from The Outsiders. I loved Emilio Estevez. I had a mad crush on Emilio Estevez. And then for the band, I always laugh, like, who was your favorite from Duran Duran? I always make the joke that Menudo. I loved Menudo, I remember. Wasn't Ricky Martin in Menudo? And I remember that everybody like the cute ones, and then my favorite was the Nick Rhodes. We talked about this, right? John Taylor. Yeah, John Taylor. Most people like John Taylor, and I like Nick Rhodes. It's crazy. Emilio. Yeah, Emilio Estevez was like in whatever Ducks, and was in all he was part of the Brat Pack. He was part of the Brat Pack. Joey Lawrence, and he is looking pretty good for an older dude now. He really works out. I love watching those Lawrence brothers. And I have to say that Joey is still good looking, man. I think he's like shaved his head. I kind of think he's cute, and he's a little young for me, but you know, just a cougar over here. Mighty Ducks, thank you. But I remember him from What was the one? Don't you forget about me. Which show was that? Where they all were locked in the school. Because he was the jock in that one. He was the jock. Breakfast Club. Yeah. That is, he was in the Breakfast Club. He was in The Outsiders, right? When we talk about those shows that kind of like maybe for me that is right, one of those massive I love the books, right? Those books, Pretty in Pink. Yeah, Pretty in Pink. Who was in that one? The blonde guy that is like Blacklist dude. He's 49. Well, he is younger than I am, right? So he wouldn't have been when I was that age. I wasn't crushing on him because wasn't he Blossom's brother? Joey Lawrence, isn't that where he was? Blossom. So let's just add our strips for a different color palette. Who's playing along with me? Are you just chatting along with me, or are you playing along? Anybody doing it? James Spader. Do you remember? He was the mean guy in Pretty in Pink, wasn't he? James Spader. Who was the weepy guy? Like, he was not my favorite. Pretty in Pink. Who was the star guy on that? Which he was kind of, I don't know. He was not. I did not have a crush on him. Andy. Wasn't that the girl's name in it? Andy? In Pretty in Pink? And do you remember the dress? Like they say, the most disappointing reveal is that prom dress that she made. Molly Ringwald. And the ducky guy. Yeah. What's his name? Because he was in 2.5 Men, right? Let's put those little words on here. I might still throw, if I have a couple of these. John Cryer, thank you. But who was the guy? Andrew McCarthy, thank you. Did anybody have a crush on Andrew McCarthy? I did not. He wasn't the one for me. I did love Grease, though. That was a favorite. I love John Travolta. But I always laugh, like watching Saturday Night Fever when I was younger. I had no clue how dark that show was until I watched it again as an adult. Right? I had no clue how dark. He was whiny. I know. And I'm sorry if he was your crush. Deb and I aren't trying to be mean to you. But that's what I always felt like. I'm like, he was not my favorite. Okay. This one's coming along. Boo boo. What color do I want to use next? I want to throw a script one in because I love it. Weekend at Bernie's. That was a good one, wasn't it? I would like use a craft. We haven't used craft. Let's do a craft one. But I have to say our music and I think our fashion, I think was fun in the 80s. Loved Rob Lowe. He was good looking. But you remember, I said this last week, is the reason I always pick the ones that weren't as popular is so if, we were out at the mall and we ran into Emilio Estevez and Rob Lowe, all the girls would want Rob Lowe. So, I would actually have a chance of a love match if I picked the one who wasn't the most popular or the best looking. So, there was always method to the madness. With my romantic choices back then, it was more of like, who could I actually start dating? I really think I picked the one that was none of my friends liked. Because then one, I didn't have to share them, right? I was the only one who liked that guy. Everybody else was like, oh, he's not the cute one. And I'm like, it's okay, more for me. You chose the sidekick, 100%, right? John Cusack. Yeah. Is Say Anything the one with the when he held the boom box up in the air? Was that Say Anything? We had some good movies back then. And that's what we did. $2 Tuesdays. Does anybody remember that? At the movie theater? Was that an everywhere thing. That was definitely a Canada thing. Like I could go with $5 and see my movie and get a popcorn and a pop with $5 because I'm old like that, right? Like you could go and do and see the things, and if you had $20, man, you were good. I could, go to the movie. I could go buy myself something at Claire's, right? I could have an ice cream. Like $20 was like I was like, whew, I'm rich. Like to take $1 to the store as kids. I like if I had $5, I could buy something for my whole street, right? I could buy. Do you remember the mystery bags at Claire's? But sometimes you could look like a prostitute with that mystery bag. Sometimes those earrings were pretty interesting. And then you might in there have like fishnet stockings, earrings. Claire's is, oh, that's sad. That's not a nice story, right? That it's, if it's filing for bankruptcy, a lot of us, like, that was a big thing. But I remember that some of those mystery bags, and even Devin would get the mystery bags. Like she'd be like, "Can I get a mystery bag at Claire's?" And I'm looking at it going, "There's no way you can wear those hoops. Those hoops are bigger than your whole head." Yeah. Darkwing Duck. Yeah, I remember that. I remember. Oh, I didn't put a purple one on. Let's put a purple one on. Love it. Penny candy was your favorite. Yep. And for us back then, you think penny candy, like, did you guys have Mojos? Does anybody remember Mojos? They were like a chewy candy, and you would get like 5 Mojos for a penny. And banana Mojos, I still can taste it, was my favorite. John Wayne was your crush. I love that. Mojos. I want to know if anybody remembers Mojos. It was Mojo, Mojos. So I'm wiping that extra glue off now, because that's the nice thing about the glue stick, is it will roll right off there. Jawbreakers, yes. Sneaking in the drive-in movie in the trunk of a car, we did that. Do you remember where they'd have carload night, and like for $20, and then we would have so many kids in the car? We definitely had more than seatbelts. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Do you remember Mojos? And I don't know if it's a Canadian thing. Do you think Mojos were only in Canada? I want to know if any of my American friends remember Mojos. Because I remember with that dollar, and we had a store that called Maslynx. And it was the couple was old. Like, and it's not even like, you're young and they weren't as old. This couple had probably owned that store. Looked like you were going back in time, and it had a wooden floor and all the jars with all the penny candy. And we would go to that store for the penny candy, because you could get a ton, and they had it all in the like little jars and stuff. And we would have Mojos, the Chunkies. Do you remember that big chunk of chocolate? You could get plain or with the nuts. Cinnamon toothpicks. I'm trying to remember the other stuff, like as a kid, that you were excited when you went to the dollar store, or the not dollar store, the penny candy store. We had Mojos in caramel covered with chocolate. Yeah, no, these ones were like Laffy Taffy, I would say, right? Where was that located? It was in Thorold. It was in Thorold by Battle Street. It was called Maslynx. Cigarette, yeah, Popeye cigarette candy. Fireball, yes. See, now and later we did not have those in Canada. Like, it was a big deal. Do you remember the rocket lollipop that was long and it was clear, and it would be like 3 different colors? Like, that thing would last you for 8 days. Wax lips. I love those things, and they tasted terrible, but you love the wax lips, right? A Fun Dip. And I remember taking the red Smarties and licking it, and that's how I could wear lipstick. Because if you took the red Smartie, yeah, they were horrible, Connie, but I love them. And the vampire teeth, the wax vampire teeth, Astro Pops. Heather, yes, you know what I'm talking about. Astro Pops. Does anybody remember those? I freaking loved the Astro Pop. Let's do a craft one to finish this one off. Pixie sticks, yes. Sweet tarts. And what were the whole strip? I don't want to do that one because it's the same. Gray. We'll do gray. The strip of all the dots. Like it was that roll that you had and it had all the colored dots on it. What was that candy? Oh, Lick-a-Maid. I loved that. I loved that. And Pop Rockets. Okay, there we go. We have 2 different colorways. Dot candy, is that what it was? They tasted like crap. You still can get them when you go to the old-time candy stores. Jawbreakers. I was never a fan, though. That would not be what I'd be picking. But I loved the Taffy Toffee that was chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. You know what I mean? What is that called? What is the 3-flavor ice cream called? And I laugh because my friend would go in her sister's in Thrills. Do you remember Thrills gum? And it tasted like perfume. It was terrible. Thrills gum. But I remember that toffee, and she would go Neapolitan, yeah. And she would eat the whole chocolate row and then wrap it up and put it back in her candy drawer, and she would get so mad. And I'm talking like we were probably like 18, 19, and her sister was a couple years younger than her, and she would go in her candy drawer and eat the whole row of chocolate off that, wrap it, and put it back. My friend Kelly. I'm sure if I talked to her sister Carrie, she would be like, I totally remember when she used to do that, right? I'm the same age as Vicki, lived in Ontario all my life, and don't even half the things she's talking about. Guess I'm too much of a country girl. Or, or you just don't remember it. I can't remember yesterday, but I can remember all of that stuff. Remember? You know what I mean? I can remember stuff from like 40 years ago, but I can't remember what I did earlier today. It's very odd. Okay. I feel like we can do the things. Thrills tasted like dish soap. It was purple. Do you guys remember? But I loved the zebra gum, right? That zebra striped gum. And clove gum. My mom would talk about clove gum and Black Betty. Do you remember that? Black Betty? Whoa, Black Betty, ram lamb. And that, what's that song? Juicy Fruit? Juicy. Do you guys remember that song? And something about my good and plenty juicy fruit. Chiclets. Are they around anymore or Chiclets gone? I love Chiclets. Like I loved Chiclets. I loved Chiclets. Zebra striped gum. The taste lasted 5.8 seconds. That's the one. That is the one. Okay. So now I'm just wiping my extra glue off because that's why I love my glue stick. And the other thing is look at that all glued perfectly, right? And it won't lift off. I haven't seen Chiclets. Now I need to find Chiclets. I know, I can't even believe that the cherry blossom. And next, they're going to tell me the Big Turk and I will cry. I think that's hilarious, Beth. I would do something like that. Good and plenty. But we talked about this. My favorite is there's a Canadian version of Good and Plenty. And I just forgot what it's called, Goodies. And I did some research after we talked about them. And Goodies were canceled, discontinued. The wax harmonica. Yes. How fun is that, right? Okay, I'm choking. So I'm trying to fix that. Stop choking, Vicki. Razzles. I had them, the candy that is a gum, or the gum that's a candy or whatever, but they tasted terrible. Did you like those? I thought Razzles were kind of gross. I love black licorice, me too. And I love the best black licorice is in New Zealand. They're called RJs, and they're called bullets. And it is black licorice, like a Good and Plenty, covered in chocolate, and it is the best thing I've ever tasted in my life. I dream of RJ's chocolate, and I think it's New Zealand. I don't even think that one's an Australia one. I did not glue this strip very well. I am getting kicked off the island. The glue had to have been dry when I put this one down, so let's fix that. Let's fix that, because when you go to punch it, it's going to lift. Tootsie Rolls and Tootsie Pop is one of my favorite candy. Did you know that? I love a Tootsie Roll. I like the dance too. I like the dance too. A twin Bing bar is. What is a Bing bar? I've never heard of that. Dutch licorice is the best. I have to agree, Heather, when I was in the Netherlands. But I don't care for the salty licorice. You were going to say you want to see that Tootsie Roll? Yep. Hot and candy, sweet and low. Let me see that Tootsie Roll. Tootsie Roll. Right? I just probably made the words up, though. I don't know if that's the words. I know it's something sweet and low. Let me see it, Tootsie Roll. To the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. Now dip, baby, dip. Come on now, dip, baby, dip. Slide, 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 slide. I love it. I don't like salty licorice. That one is like super chewy and it almost tastes like fish. And I was like, I do not think that's delicious. I do not think that's delicious. Fish flavored licorice is not good. Okay, ready? Here we go. So I'm going to pick my colors and then go through and punch out the circles. And it's going to be thick, right? So that's why you don't want your base paper to be very, cut the overhang or I'm not going to be able to get in there too. Okay, I can't access it. But you could totally do this with your dies, you know. And, you know, it would be awesome with some of the new dies and the dies that Janine has out for Sizzix. You could use for the background. This would be really awesome. Like this would be perfect with dies. Okay, is anybody with me? Are you already punching your circles? Are you just watching and pretending? Because I know, excuse me, a lot of you will work tomorrow or on the weekend. Like it's hard during the week because you could have worked all week, right? And you're like, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this tonight. But a lot of you then you're like, my favorite is the ones that are like, I was in bed and then you started doing it. I got excited and I got out of bed and started making. That's my favorite. Or when they're like, I wasn't going to do it. And then you got me kind of excited about trying it. And now here I am out of bed. Punching circles and doing the things. Look how pretty these are. I love it. I love it. What is netball? What is netball? Is it something that we play here but call it something else? Or is it something we don't play at all and I don't know what it is? Like, tell me what netball is. Yeah, and if your punch isn't going through, your dies will work, right? It's 2-inch. It's a 2-inch circle punch. So now to access, I'm going to cut that row off because, to be honest with you, friends, you could use the positive and negative of this, especially if you cut better than I did. right? Because look at how fun would this be to back it. Look how fun that would be. Just do a better job cutting than I did. And put black or something behind it, or pop it up with foam dots. Could be really fun. Yeah, you go and have sweet dreams. And hopefully get to work on something like this weekend, right? I'll do a couple more. I really like with the purple. And you could move it, right, to get a different combo. Right? Like I could cut from there instead. And I just won't get 4 across. So for this one, I'll just pick and choose where I want this to be. I don't know if Sir Rich is going to come down. I walked into the bedroom. You know, it is past my bedtime, but was having fun with the 80s throwback. Yeah, me too. Look at that one's not glued. So I will just make sure. That's when I'm going to do the glue, liquid glue, just so I don't have to lift it all up. And I'll just put a bead in there. Because that's the biggest thing. You don't want to work on a section that's too big. I love that one. Love that. Could you vary your circle sizes? Could you punch hearts out? You could do whatever you want, right? Canada calls it netball too. I don't know what it is though. Now I want to know. So did you guys say it? And good night, Janine. I know. She is. This is way past your bedtime. When I go to visit Janine, if she stays up till 10, she's like, you know, this is it. I gotta go to bed. And then I go into my room and I stay up for a couple more hours because I'm stupid, right? Too thick to go through the Cricut. I would be nervous that if the paper's not glued down perfectly, this could all get junked up in your Cricut. I probably wouldn't put it through a Cricut. I would do it either through, I love that one. Like, look, you could use that on a card. I would do it through the, I'm an all hours girl. I just don't sleep a lot. And I love, like my cat will get me up a lot of days at 5:30. And sometimes I'm up. And I love, if I went to bed at a decent time, I really love being up that early. Right? Netball above. Oh, so I have to read it because I was working and then I asked the question and didn't have a chance to look at it. So some of these though, right, I just noticed the blue is lifting. So I don't want to lose that tiny little piece. So that's because I did not have a big enough layer of boogers with my glue gun or my glue stick. But this one, how fun. And if you stitched around the circles, look how pretty that is. That custom paper. So we have a selection of these. I will punch the rest and I'm going to use, but I have enough for what I want to do, I think. And if I don't, I can come back and get more, right? Seven-a-side game in which goals are scored by throwing a ball so that it falls through a netted hoop. I'll look it up. I'm going to have to look. I need a visual now. Now inquiring minds want to know, right? I'm going to have to look that up. So instead of cutting, I'm going to cut that piece off because I kind of like that jagged edge you could use for something too, right? I think that could be fun too. Little strip under a title, like with one of my big jumbo titles that I did before with American Crafts. How fun would that be? So we have, right, that color, and now we have this colorway. So what kind of colors, what are you guys using? Did you get any kind of really fun results? Surprising results that you're like, I really love how this turned out. You're going to bring retro candy for the cruise? I love that. When I was in England, I got to try candy I've never had before. What are they called? Something violets? Is there anybody out there from the UK? Something violet. So it was like rockets, or what do you guys call those? Smarties? But it was like something violet it was called, and it tasted like lavender. But they said it is like a very traditional candy in England. And I was like, okay, you can have all of my lavender candy. I was not a fan of the lavender candy. They're probably sleeping, yeah. Oops, that one went on the floor, and it's probably the best one yet. Let me find it. I don't know my own power. Oh, look at what I picked up. That definitely was not it. Maybe I did it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Boop. Yeah, I don't know, those violent things. Violet, whatever. And it's one of those things, I kept eating it, but I don't think I liked it. Kept eating it, but I don't think I liked it. Oh, that one's on the floor too. It is definitely a very distinctive flavor. I would agree with you. But it was a certain brand. I love this, friends. There's so many things we could do with this. You know, remember we were saying the paper weaving? You could weave these too. I feel like you could make art. Like imagine cutting butterflies out of this and you could frame them. I think that would be beautiful. My punch did a number on that one. But it's okay. It's distressed. That one's distressed. So is there... I want one with more of this pinky color. You're watercoloring. I love that. What are you watercoloring? Stamps or card or traditional watercoloring? I'm going to flip the punch now and see if I will get a sharper edge. Punching like that. Yep, that's better. I turn the punch around instead of looking at it. Do a couple more and let's make some art. So tonight I'm going to make a card, and then the pattern I'm using for the card I'm going to duplicate in a layout that I will post. Okay, so I want something with a little bit more orange. Oh, remember, I'm going to turn it. Because I find it was punching better this way. Now you're craving something sweet. Do you have anything sweet? Or are you lucky because you're out of all the sweets in your house? You don't have to worry about it. It's funny. I used to love candy. And the only candy I like now, is black licorice. Parma. That's it. Hello, Kari. Parma violets. That's what it was called. Parma violets. Kari to the rescue. Parma violets. And it was whatever the brand was. They had a whole bunch of very traditional English candy in there. Okay. What do you guys think? Look how pretty these are. So you could vary the size of the circle. I think that could be really fun. Definitely vary the paper that you're using. Could be very fun. a protein shake or a piece of fruit. I had a peach tonight and it was so very delicious. I love peach season. So, friends, or if you're local-ish to me, we have a donut shop here that people literally will come from near and far. It's called Beechwood Donuts. It's a vegan donut shop. You would never know. And they just advertise. So if you look it up on Instagram, Beechwood, Beechwood, Beechwood Donuts. The donut that they have this week, and I said to Devin, we're going to go shopping tomorrow. We're going to do something fun. We're going shopping, me, Devin, and Denise. And I said, on our way, they have a sour cherry, not a cruller. What is it? A sour cherry. Oh my goodness, I forgot. But whatever it is, the donut is a sour cherry donut. And we're stopping because I must have that in a coffee on our drive tomorrow. And I do not like sweets really anymore, but I'm having a freaking sour cherry whatever. Vicky's favorite is cherries, peaches, and watermelon. So somebody will look it up on Instagram, Beechwood Donuts, and you'll see what it is. Fritter? It's a sour cherry fritter. There's no jelly in it. It's just stuffed with sour cherries. And Julie, do you want funny? So I went to visit Valerie, and she lives in Lewiston, New York. And Lewiston, New York has one of the best Italian bakeries ever. And when I went in there, because remember, sweets don't really appeal to me, but if there's cherries in it, I want it. And I bought a sour cherry turnover that was like a homemade Pop-Tart, and it was freaking delicious. So you saying that, I'm like, so good. Why haven't I taken you there? I know, Kari, for sure. Beechwood is so good. The one that they just had this summer, which was the best donut I've ever had there, was a peach cobbler. And it was a fritter stuffed with peaches. It was the best thing you've ever tasted. Like, seriously. Divine. So, for the layout, picture this. Well, I'll do this in a second. Let's start with a card. I'm making a card tonight. Because remember, I told you guys I'm going to be a card maker. I'm going to be focused on making cards sometimes because I don't want to limit my creativity. And sometimes, maybe I don't have a photo, right? But I still want to make something so I can pull out my art journal, or I could make a card. Don't think I'm ever going to send you a card, because now that's just getting crazy. But I might make a card. Is anybody else like that? I can't be the only one, right? I can't be the only one. Sari Chower. Oh my goodness, Sarah. Cherry sour candies. Village Bake Shop. Now you have to take me to Beechwood and 13th Winery because you have to have the best butter tart ever. Yes, but can you please remember, every time I come to visit you, I need a cherry turnover. Holy crap, it was the best thing I ever tasted. Whatever they do, like the dough was magic. It was good. It was just good. Okay, so let's talk now. My card is going to be a 5x7. I planned this. Are you ready? I'm going to do a 5x7 card. Well, Deb, if you invite me to your birthday party, I could maybe deliver you a card. Hello, Vicki Von Vicki. How are you, my friend? We're going to be reunited one day, aren't we? Reunited, and it feels so good. Reunited, because you understood. There's one perfect fit, and sugar, this one is it. We both are so excited because we're reunited. Hey, hey. You're going to see Benson Boone. Have you seen him already, or is that tomorrow? I bet you that concert is great. He's going to do tons of flips and doing all the things. How fun is that, right? Okay, so I am doing a 5x7 because I did the maths. And if I want to do rows of circles and still mat it, I think a 5x7 with the 2-inch circles is going to work. April Cruise, is that when we're going to be reunited for Olivia's 16th birthday? Oh my goodness, Vicki, I'm going to make her a card. Somebody remind me I just said that. Please put it in your phone to remind me that I have to make Olivia a card. Oh my goodness, that worked. How did that work out? How is that 10 inches? And I didn't trim that side. Isn't that weird? Or how I cut it? It must have been, right? I don't know how I did that so perfectly without any planning. She heard it. You know, you heard it. It's going to be the bestest card. Olivia, you need to message me and tell me what your favorite colors are. And I'm going to like make you the most fantastical card you ever saw. And then it's your sweet 16. So I will also be bringing you the most fantastical birthday present because you're the sweetest girl ever and you deserve it. Okay, so let's do this. I'm making a card base because I'm a card maker. I'm a card maker. Love it. Okay, there we go. 5 by 7. I can be a non-traditional card size. So you see what I'm saying, right? Because then these should fit. So you could do all the same colors. You could mix. I think I might want to stick with the same color palette. But I'm thinking, how fun to do some kind of mix. So I'm going to do a matte. And I'm going to put those on there. And then I'm going to put just a word strip on there. And that's my card. So you could vary, like, right? Your circles don't all have to go in a row. But maybe I think I'm a liar. I'm going to switch the colors out. Yeah, we're going to party like it's 1999. Eek. So I think I'm going to switch my plan there. So let's see. Do we like it more? Yeah, I think I like that better in various colors. I like that. So I'm going to go with it, but I might swap that one out for more green. Ooh, I like it with this one. Perfect. So let's decide what the mat is going to be. And I wrote it down. I'm going to cut a mat that's 4.5 by 6.5, right? 4.5 by 6.5. That cruise is not sold out, Ginger. The one in April, we're going to have the bestest time. And it is at cruisandcrop.com. And when you go through the whole list, you will see, go down to cruise, go and cruises at the top, and then Vicki Boot and Cruise. The one in the fall is sold out. But the April one I just added while I was on the last cruise I was on. So it is not sold out, right? So let's decide. We could do it on a blue background. What do we think? I kind of dig in that. What do you think? I'm going to cut it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try this. That blue. But cardstock might be even better. What about a piece of craft cardstock? Let's go. I'm going to grab it. So I'm going to show you two options. Because I think there's so much business going on here that if I put it on a neutral, I think it'll be better. So let's grab craft. Hopefully I have some here. I have tons in my shop. But, oh, yes, I do. I do. I have a piece of, do you see what I'm saying? I think the craft's going to kind of be magic. Cindy, I want you to come so bad too, right? But you need a roommate. You never know. And, oh, I saw that. I think Cruise and Crop is doing a special thing where you can, they are doing a web page or something for if you're looking for a roommate on the cruises. Yeah, I'm hoping Kari will feel well enough to come. I'm hoping. But her health is our utmost priority right now, right? So if she does come, we're going to take good care of her. If she can't come, we're still going to take good care of her, right? I think the craft is going to look good. Connie needs a roommate. Look at it. It might be happening right here while you guys are on here. Definitely exchange your information, right? It's going to be fun. Okay, let's see if this is big enough. So, burp. So I'm thinking, like, look at a little craft. What do you guys think? And then do we pop up just the craft and put these flat? Or do we pop our circles up? Do we leave it flat? I know for some of you, like, if you're going to mail it, you might want to leave it flat. But do you remember, I'm never going to mail it. Maybe one day. Wouldn't that be nice of you guys? We talked about this before. That once, now that I'm going to be a card maker, if I randomly sent you guys cards. Because I know you card makers are smart, and there's probably something you do with the other card makers that maybe they have a list if you want to go on a mailing list, and then they mail you out cards. So maybe I should not be a loser and actually mail out my card one day. I love this so much. And you totally could sew on it. You could ink edges, but Sarah, don't be mad. I am not an edge inker. Edge inker? Inker of the edges. Right? I'm going to pop the circles up. I agree. You could pop all of it up if you wanted to, right? You could pop all of it. But let's pop the circles up. I'm going to pop both up because I'm crazy tonight. I feel like I want to pop it all up. I'm going to just pop it all up. It's going to be the thickest card, right? This card is Baby Got Back. And then I just have to find my, if you were my, oh, I love this. This is brilliant from scrapbook.com. This strip stuff, freaking awesome, man. Love it. Okay, here's a bunch of adhesive. Let's do the things. We'd be popping, right? I'm going to pop it all up because it's never going in the mail. So it's good. That looks great without being popped up, and you don't have to, Dorina, right? And that's what we love about this. If you want to pop it, pop it. Pop it like it's hot, or don't pop it at all, right? Pop it or don't pop it. Rounding the corners, though. Do you think I should round the corners? Do you think like rounded corners would be cool? Okay, just go with it, Vicki. I look at how many circles I have. I could make 20 of these cards, right? So you don't have to round these corners, but when you make the next one, you totally could. So could you see doing your Christmas cards with this? You could make these all ornaments. You could make these ornaments. Oh, we talked about the gold. I forgot the gold. Okay, pretend I didn't do any of this. You ready? Pretend I didn't do this because now I'm taking this off because I forgot the gold. I got so excited that I'm making a card. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to temporarily tape these. And I'm going to show you what my plan was. So let's just tack it. So we can lay it out. And I'll show you what my plan was. You're an edge inker? Are you edge inkers? I am not an edge inker. I have never been an edge inker. And I know, can I even be part of the group anymore? I don't know. I might get kicked off the island. Right? Might get kicked off the island, but I've never been an edge inker. I only use brown ink for Christmas or for tree trunks. If I would be forced to ink an edge, if I'd be forced to ink an edge, it would definitely be in color. And I don't think anybody'd be surprised by that. Right? If you've met me, you'd be like, yeah, I could see that. I could see that Vicki would only ink in color and not brown. Chamel inks everything, yeah. And it's definitely a thing. I think I am in the minority. Who else out there does not ink edges? I use foam dots. That's how I add the shadow, is with foam dots. I do not ink edges. But it was definitely everybody inked an edge. Like I'm surprised I was ever allowed to go to the party and not be an edge inker. Because everybody was inking the edges, right? But maybe back in the day, maybe early day scrapbooking, I inked an edge. Okay, I'm not doing a very good job here, but I want to show you what my idea was. And it'll probably work better on the layout than the card, but I'll be the guinea pig. I'll do it here and you'll see. I should have put the top and bottom, and then I know how much room I have, right? Yeah, probably back in the old school days of paper crafting. I think we probably all did. I used walnut stain. I did all the things. But yeah, I don't ink edges. And people will often be like, "What color ink do I need?" I'm like, "Whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. Bring them all. Bring your brown. Bring your vintage photo." But even like when Tim gets all, he's distressed, but I'm the Barbie of his Ken. So Vicki is like pulling out all the bright colors. His palette and my palette are not the same. And that's why I always used to love doing the stuff, because I'm like, I can just pick whatever I want out of the distressed colors. And same now with the 49 and Market, that I still could go to the party and be a bright scrapbooker. So if you're like, what is she doing here? I'm going to show you, okay? And hopefully it turns out and I don't ruin everything. This one has to move over though. I think both of them. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I am going to go, this is going to kind of be my inking of the edge, because this card's going to go from super clean and I'm going to bling it out. Oh, I have inky hands because I'll do all the mixed media, but I don't ink an edge. Okay, look how pretty that is though, Dorina. You said it looks pretty just on its own. You could sew on these. Oh, I would love that. Sew on it. I've probably done a technique like this before. This is definitely kind of my jam, right? When you say this is my jam. So I am going to now take my cup and I am going to put little gold rings around all of these like this. Whoop. The rings are going to overlap, but my ring cup fits perfectly around that 2-inch circle. So I'm going to do this. So I might not be able to finish the card tonight now because it might be too thick. Like I might have to let this stuff dry, but whatever. We'll see. I'm going to mist that a little bit because it's a little bit heavy. I'm going to put my cup in it and then see what'll happen. I'll have a little inked edge. Okay, let's see. It could be really cute and it could look like cockapoo-poo. And on the beige, the craft, we don't know, but I don't care. It might be better on the layout, but we'll try it. Let's see, is it going to show up? I love it. It's very subtle on here, but I really love it. Oh. Can you see? It is a very subtle gold edge. It's kind of fun. Now, you could totally take the gold and I could ink the edges in gold. What do you think? I could totally do that if I wanted to, right? So I'm going to go in here, turn the cup, burp. On my white foundations paper, because the other one I'm going to do some mixed media on. And if you don't like it, the first ring, you can put another one on there. Oh, on a black base? Yeah, it could be gorgeous. And then the gold would really pop on there too. I can't wait. And I hope you guys are inspired to make something and go and post for me. Or if you post it somewhere that isn't on Facebook, make sure you tag me so I can see what you make. But you guys posted last week and I loved it. I haven't gone through and commented. I hearted everybody's, but I'm going to go back through on the weekend A lot of design stuff this week. It was crazy town. I have not been talking on the socials as much as I need to. I want to get back to that, guys. Start chatting on the groups again, because I miss you guys. And oh, I love doing the second ring. Actually going on here a second time. Is we need to keep the community alive. I really feel like there's a lot of people that really love that, benefit from the chatter. So we need to get back to that. Not everything online has to be negative stuff, right? Some of it can be fun, just connecting with your friends. I love that. Can you see it? I really think that kind of adds to the charm of the layers. Now, remember we were going to pop these up. I can lift them once the paint dries, and then pop them up. So I might not finish this card till tomorrow to show you. I'll let this dry, but let's look at our background for the layout, right? Because you guys get the gist. This is going to end up going on my card base. I'm going to pop everything up, and I'm going to put a sentiment either right across the middle, down at the bottom in one of them. It just, I did pull a couple sentiments. That's going to be my card, but I want to pop everything up because I really love that. I really love it. Very simple, but you know what else could be fun? If you cut a heart out of the middle of these. Wouldn't that be pretty? Or a star? Or even out of just one of them, the one where your sentiment is going to go. These could be fun as rings, but we got to let that dry. And then let's talk about this. So now, this one could be willy-nilly with the circles, and then just go in and, right? And add them wherever. Or do you think it would be fun to do it in a row? Right? Still have our circles. Like, oh, that kind of be fun. Maybe could do your photos on one side and do 2 rows of circles on the other side. I just dropped them all. Digging that. And it's kind of repetition from what we did last week, isn't it? A little bit. So you could do it like this, right? Where it is a little repetitious and linear. Or you could do it where they're just floating down your page. Right? They could be overlapping. I'm going to go very linear with this one. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do very linear, and I'm going to do it down the right-hand side, but I decided this I wanted to do first. So I'm going to keep my paint wet because we're still going to use that. I might wipe the cup off just so it doesn't gum up before I'm ready to use it. And I am going to do a little layer of mixed media, some stenciling in the background. So did I grab a stencil? So, oh, I have a stamp. Do we think circles with circles would be okay? I'm going to do a stencil. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a big one. I'm going to stencil, maybe some script. You watch, in a very subtle background. Here I come. Here I come to save the day. Okay. So I am going to go in here on this side. And what color do I think I want to do in the background here? Very subtle. Very subtle. Maybe green. I might go, I think mint chill will be too light. Do I want to just do green jeans? We could do purple. That could be fun. I am going to do it. Totally out of my normal comfort zone. I'm going to go in with lavender chill. Just got to find the blending tool that matches. I'll just get a new one so I don't have to search. Okay, totally going crazy. I'm going to go in with lavender chill. Oh, lavender kisses. I'm just making names up. Sorry, Janine. I think she's in bed though, so she won't know. I am going to line that up, and I'm going to do just a little inky background in a lavender, because I think this will be really pretty. I just want something very subtle, and I think the linear aspect in going opposite direction to my little paper strips will be fun, and I'll probably do a little ink drip. I don't have to ink the whole pattern. I don't even know if the stencil is upside down or going the right way. Don't even care. Oh, very pretty. Love it. Okay, look at that. Very fun. So we'll do just a couple drips. Did I put this in the right place? I did. It's a good fit. And I needed some drips anyway, so let's do that. Boop, boop. Around. Okay. Put some drips. That's a good paint drop brush. It holds lots of water in it, so we get some really good drips. So I'm going to have to cheat because I'm not going to get my heat gun out, but I'll let this sit here for a second, and then I will pick it up with a paper towel. And they're going to be very light. If you want dark purple drips or whatever color you're using, it's better to let this sit. But do you see what I mean? By adding the water, it just softens the whole stencil up, right? Okay. Put the brush down, Vicki. I know, and Vicki doesn't normally use the purples, but I really love this color. I really love it. Janine did a good job with that purple. And it'll probably match a lot of Joanne's collections because she goes in with a lot of the softer colors. And maybe even the one I'm working on, there might be some of that in there. Oh, you could totally go in with gold splatters. You totally could. Yep, with that, you could. I'm going to stick with my gold little circles. But I'm not even, because I have no patience. I'm just going to kind of place these because it won't matter. I'm going to pop them up anyway. But, oh, yeah, Vicki, don't get crazy. Okay, let's just do this. Lift up that what? Oh, it's okay. It's very subtle. I just don't want a pool of water. So even if there's still a little bit of dampness on there, it's totally fine. I just want to be able to go in here and lay my pieces down. So good enough. Okay. So we are going, how many did we decide to do? Boop. I'm going to go do my little row. So the one thing you could do once I lay these down, I'll show you. Is you could add variation to the direction, right? They don't all have to go in a row. You could do this kind of thing, right? If you wanted to. I am really kind of digging very linear on this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what I'm thinking, okay? You do whatever makes you happy. I'm kind of liking that. Or you could offset. That might be fun. Look at, could do this. I kind of maybe like that even better. What do you guys think? And offset your circles. What are your thoughts on that? Kind of digging it. Do you have any thoughts on it? Or you're like, just finish it, Vicki. Just do the things. Gotta move it down though. To be honest with you, I would finish this with stitching. And I think it would be freaking awesome on here. But you wouldn't then be popping them up, right? If you do that, then you leave it flat. But I love paper quilting. So I'm going to do this. I like the offset, don't you? Black script in the back could have been really cool too. I think it looks pretty balanced, don't you think? Pretty balanced, good enough. I'm of the school of good enough. I need to put a little bit more gold down because I feel like I used a lot of that up. It's dry a little bit on here too. Are you ready? Let's see on the white now. Missed it a little bit, so that's going to move around for you. And then let's put some rings. I'm going to start from the top and work my way down just so I don't put my arm in the paint. Okay? It looks like it's going a little to the side though, doesn't it? There. I say good enough, Vicki. Just embrace it. So if you wanted to, you totally could lift and do your circles and even do a double circle, right? If you want to, right? And then think when we put our foam dots on. I have to load up my foam dots too. They're a little on the empty side lately. Boop, boop, and boop. Look it. And then that's going to go there. I love it. And could you put some gold dots with the thing after? You totally could. Could you stitch on it? Yes, Mary Pat, you totally could. Right? Do whatever tickles your fancy. Love it. Okay, and then I can come back in and put those back on. I'm going to wipe that one off though, because I didn't really put gold on the other stuff. I think the gold and the purple is really pretty too. So you get where I'm saying when we do the mixed media, it's very hard for me to finish the whole page in the Friday night, but I will finish it over the weekend, and I'm even committing to photos on it. So I will post it on the Vicki Booten page. Have we decided? There's a community page, I think, here on YouTube now where I could post still photos. Can I? Do any of you guys that are huge YouTuber people, am I wrong about that? I think I saw it somewhere. where I could take my images and post them, right? I love it. And then one more. How you guys doing? I love that. I'm very excited about that. Everything's still working, right? Because there's no comments, but I want to make sure it's just because maybe you guys aren't talking. Did you glue my circles down? I did not this time. I just eyeballed it. Do you have gold all? You're covered in gold paint. I love that. You're gilded. I love that. So do we want to do a couple of gold drips? Let's do it. Do you like how I asked you and then I just do what I want? If you've been around, you know that is the Vicki way. I'm going to try to keep them, though, right around here. So it's almost like little paint cup marks, right? And then this obviously will have to sit and dry, and I'm trying not to get it in my face like Irene's covered in it. I'm trying not to do that. And then I will post, right, when it's done. But just to give you an idea of this is what it'll look like, right? And then we'll put those little circles on top. And that's what we'll get. Texture I love because, you know, I have a white background here. I love the mixed media side of it. I got to play, and I feel like that fulfills the artist side of things. When this dries, it'll dry completely sparkly. That's why I love the texture paste, that you can use it like a texture paste, or you can use it like a gold paint. And you don't have to spend a fortune or use ones that are hard to use inside because they're stinky. I think the lavender and the gold is really pretty though, don't you think, Gracie? And then why I love my craft mat, if you don't have one, yes, it is worth adding to your toolbox because all that just wipes up, right? Normally I go in with a paper towel first, and then because you don't want to reconstitute your gold paint. But a lot of this was dry already. So I did use a Vicki Boutin Gold glaze. It is not something that is on the market anymore. You might still be able to find it. If you're Canadian, I have lots of it here, but I can't ship to the US. And we will be doing tons of grab boxes and stuff. Because I have like old Vicki Boutin collections, and I'm going to literally go Sweet Rush box and whatever. So just if you're Canadian out there, don't forget that stuff's coming. Because I need to clear out a whole bunch of stuff. So if you need to stock your craft room, it will be like killer deals. So that's going to be coming. I just got to get organized. It's hard because I'm doing all the design stuff that I haven't had time. See, the gold is dry already on this. But look at similar technique, 2 different projects. These are going to be kind of stuck on there because I did. Oh no, it's because I glued them down, Vicki. They're stuck on there because you actually glued it down. So let's see. Are we still in agreement that popping these up will be fun? I like texture. So see, I'm digging that. So I'm going to be popping it up. I will pop the base. You do not have to do that. You don't have to do that, but it's fun. It's going to be fun. And I will post them this weekend. So once this dries, it looks milky while the paint is wet just because the binder inside the glaze turns white. But when it dries, it's like a white glue. It goes clear. Well, it goes gold. So let me flip the camera. Do you guys want to see anything up close? That was fun. I got to put my glasses back on though, so I don't scare you with my no makeup. Just a sec. Let me fake it. You won't notice my old wrinkles if there. I have my glasses on. So thank you. That was so much fun. I love spending Friday nights with you guys. I love, like I said, you guys give me this gift. Hello, Cherie. How are you? Um, you give me this gift by coming and hanging out with me on Friday. You give me the ability to be creative when I'm otherwise working all the time. So, as much as you guys love these Friday nights, I love them just as much because I get to do things I wouldn't normally take the time or as much time to do. So, thank you for giving back, showing up here and keeping me company and talking about all the weird stuff. But I love it. Like, look how pretty that is. And even if you decided to put photos in there that you did not want, see the metallic? Love it. And then the circles up close are so much fun. So much fun. Right? So do you have any questions before I say goodnight? Because I got to get up and go for my walk in the morning. And then we are heading to Burlington and to Hamilton tomorrow for some girl shopping time. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful long weekend. Get those kiddos ready for school. Get your last book by the pool or whatever you need to do. And I'll see you next Friday because I'm here for a while. So we're going to do the things. And make sure you're watching for... Janine tells me I might be able to do some little sneak peeks of the new collection because I'm excited. Like I'm telling you, when you guys are going to be excited and it's coming. So be watching for that. Thank you for joining me. I will see you guys later. Thanks, Natalie, as always, for being my sidekick. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Do not forget to thumbs up the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And post your projects on the creative community, Vicki Booten Creative Community, because I love seeing what you guys make. See you guys later. Bye.